So Dusty, 3 years ago, how many rental properties did you have?
0.
Then you went to a local real estate investing meetup, and how many properties have you done in the last 3 years?
100.
We're gonna show you how you can do the same thing by going to your local real estate investing meetups. See you on the other side. By far, the number one question I get from new real estate investors is obviously, what's the first thing I do? Where should I start? What can I do to start growing wealth through real estate, either through wholesaling, fix and flipping, or rental properties? What's the very first step I should take? Besides subscribing to all our social media stuff, Faster Freedom, besides following us on all those things, the very first thing you should do, I always say, is go to your local real estate investing meetups. Dusty is a perfect example, that's why we're having him in this video, of the power of real estate investing meetups. We're gonna talk about what Dusty's done over the past 3 years, then we're gonna go back to that very first meetup he went to and say what he did and how he did it and how it impacted his and his family's life for a long time to come. Alrighty, so Dusty, these past 3 years, you've done about 100 properties when it comes to wholesaling, flips, and rentals. Let's talk first about your rental portfolio. So how many rentals do you have right now?
35 as of Wednesday this week.
So you basically done a rental a month for the past 3 years after doing 0 before.
0. Didn't have anything leading up to 2017, and now we've got 35 doors.
So what do those doors consist of? Or what are we talking, single families, multis, what?
I've got, let's say the majority of them are single family houses, between that $100,000 to $180,000 ARV, somewhere in that range is probably my average. And then we've got a 12-unit apartment building, and then several duplexes.
Okay.
As well.
And then for our market, that's like Dusty's, most of his properties are probably B- to A- properties, I would say, as far as the area they're in. So Dusty has absolutely crushed the rental game. How about wholesales? How have you done wholesales recently?
I've done over 50 wholesales in the last year and a half.
Okay, awesome.
That'd be a pretty good ballpark number.
Yep, for sure. And then you've done some fix and flips as well.
I've done at least 12 fix and flips, and then a couple of clean and list type situations as well in the last couple of years.
So the reason I went in Dusty's portfolio is because that kind of shows you that when you go to one of these local meetups, there's a ton of different people there. There's contractors there, there's wholesalers there, there's bankers there, sometimes there's lawyers there. There's pretty much everyone you want to get to know, and they're local, which is if you're wanting to invest locally, they're a great place to meet.
And they're like-minded individuals. They're looking to either get in with other investors or help investors grow, or sell your properties to investors, or do the rehabs for an investor. So they're very industry-friendly people.
Awesome. Yeah, real estate investors tend to like to help other real estate investors. A, they just like to help because they probably got help along the way, and B, there's a little vanity there. It's kind of like, well, I did this property and it appraised for this, here's what I did and here's why, and they get to brag on themselves a little bit as they help you along the way, which is something I would never, ever do.
Right, never.
Yeah,
never.
Even the cameraman's laughing at that one. All right, so just wanted to go into Dusty's quick story to show you, A, he knows, I'm doing a lot of A-B examples, but that's okay. A, he really knows what he's talking about. He's absolutely been crushing it these past few years. And B, to show you that he really came from, he was a handy guy, but no real estate at all.
Zero real estate experience leading to that meetup.
And then that meetup, and then change your life. Talk about what you did after that night of the meetup, and then let's go into how you can get the most out of your meetups. What'd you do that night?
So when I came into the meetup, I was a completely just blank-minded individual, just here to listen and
He's still blank-minded.
See what was going on. And as the meeting progressed, it was talking about how to build passive income to get to your freedom number to be able to step away from your W-2 job, in the future, that passive income, and then combining with some active income, you can step away from your job. And they did a little formula that basically took how many doors you needed to be able to reach my freedom number. And I still, to this day, I have it even on my phone, the original notes from that meeting. And I knew exactly where I was headed from that point. That whole concept that I could buy real estate with less than 1% or zero money down, and then turn that into a income producing asset, was just an incredible life-changing mindset for me that night. I went home, went through my notes, and then I went for a run. And when I was done with the run, I ran a little over 30 miles that evening. I was broken, blistered, bloodied, but my mind just kept moving. So that's where I was at. I couldn't sit still until I figured out the piece of the puzzle to start aiming in the direction of real estate.
Yeah, it kind of broadened your mind and showed you the concept of owning rental properties using other people's money, which is the BRRRR method. The BRRRR strategy has been around a long time. If you're not familiar with it, there's a video up here that goes into detail on what the steps mean, what each letter stands for, BRRRR. I'm not even going to tell you that. You got to watch the video up there after this to see what those stand for if you don't know.
But I would have never thought that the BRRRR method was as easy as it is, nor did I think that it would work that fast and to be able to buy as many properties in such a short time.
The reason it was easy for you is A, because you're determined and disciplined, but B, another A/B test for you. B is because you got around the right people, which
Correct.
is what I always tell new real estate investors. You surrounded yourself with like-minded people. You got in, unknowing at the time, now you work for us, you got in the Faster House Buyers Club network, the network that we created and the group and community we've created.
That original meetup absolutely changed the trajectory of my life.
And that's what real
without
estate can
question.
do. Guess what? Back there, it's going to change the trajectory of your 4 kids' lives as well.
Correct.
Because of the things that you're going to do just from one night.
Yep.
That's why I try to tell you guys the power of going to those local real estate investing meetups. Now, how you find them is you go to meetup.com. Probably going to be around here somewhere. So you go to meetup.com. Right now it's a little bit different because all their advertising is the virtual meetups. If you're in a decent sized town, I promise there's probably at least a couple a week throughout the entire month of in-person meetups. They're probably still meeting, maybe not, but if they're not meeting yet, they will be soon once all this stuff kind of clears up a little bit. But like in our area in St. Louis, you go there and type real estate investing meetups or real estate investing clubs, and they'll show you all the virtual ones, but there are several in person. It's probably the same in your market. So if you don't know the actual meetups, what they are, by going to meetup.com, how you find the in-person ones, join your local real estate investing Facebook groups and ask there where the local meetups that are meeting in person. Now,
You could probably even cross-reference the meetup page versus Google or Facebook searching that and come up with their in-person meetings still.
For sure. And so most of them are probably meeting in person, but virtually as well. So make sure that you're just immersing yourself in the community, and it's such an easy way. If you don't know anything about real estate or you're just getting started, the ideal place would be a place where people meet that want to help each other, where there's all the contacts you need. There's usually a presenter that gives great information, and it's a fun time. That would be the ideal situation. Guess what? Those are out there. Those are out there. They're local real estate investing meetup clubs. They're extremely powerful. So that's where you find them, is go to meetup.com, and then if you want the in-person ones, I suggest the virtual ones as well. Kind of cross-reference those on those local real estate investing Facebook groups that I always go to. Those are a great place to start, those two.
Yeah, and you can Google those meetups or real estate investment or RIAs as well in your local market,
a lot of them
and they'll pop up there too.
A lot of them will have websites and such because they're legitimately
3 or 4 actively going on in our area?
Yeah, there's at least 3 or 4 decent sized ones, and St. Louis is an okay sized market, so any other market that's decent sized will have them. Now that you've found these local meetups by going to what we just explained, you're showing up for the first time, you're probably a little nervous. If you're an extrovert, then perfect.
I'm definitely an extrovert.
Yeah, then it's perfect.
No, I'm an introvert.
Yeah, you're an introvert for sure. So if you're an extrovert, this is a perfect situation for you to go and show off your skills and go be the guy or gal that you want to be. But if you're an introvert, this is going to get you a little outside of your comfort zone, but that's okay. That's kind of where the change and the magic happens, is right outside your comfort zone.
Change that mindset is
You
important.
need to go get and introduce yourself and meet the people. So what did you do when you walked in the door the first time?
Actually, I think I grabbed a Diet Coke, and whatever we were having for dinner that night was either pizza or something, and kind of took a seat and just got the lay of the land, really, to see how everything was going. And lo and behold, to me, another very seasoned investor sat down next to me, realized I was new, and we had a conversation. His name was Dwayne, and had a conversation about kind of how the evening was going to go. And he was not associated at all with the meetup group, but he just out of the blue sat down, talked to me, and offered to take me out for coffee and allow me to pick his brain for an hour for nothing.
Yeah,
that was just a like-minded individual in the same place that's willing to help others, and that I found that absolutely incredible.
Dustin Sanders, just looking to build an investment portfolio, trying to learn from everybody here.
And every single meetup you go to will have people like that are not even associated with a meetup or group that is willing to take you out and help you, take you under their wing at least a little bit and kind of show you the lay of the land that night. Maybe not coffee, but at least the lay of the land. Something else you can do is look for people that are wearing like a lanyard or similar colored shirt or like a staff type shirt. You want to get to know the people that are actually running it, because the people that are running it are more than likely a bigger real estate investing player in your market. Most of the time, companies get to a certain level where they want to make a bigger impact and socially get to know people in the, as Dusty's laughing.
No, little did I know, the second individual I talked to that night was Brian Schroeder, and I didn't know who he was at all. He sat down with, I think, a pair of blue jeans, an old roughed up looking shirt, a backwards hat, and 2 different color shoes on.
He's
have any idea.
colorblind.
He's colorblind.
In case you didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he's colorblind.
So that's a
So I
perfect
had
example.
no idea.
The bigger players in your market usually have these.
One of
So
the biggest players in the market.
So obviously you're going to get to want to know those people if you're going to want to get entrenched in the industry. So if you're going, someone will come up to you, hopefully help you out. If not, go talk to someone that is a seasoned investor. If you don't know what they look like, just ask them. Ask them around, tell them you're new, and then get to know the people that are actually running the show. A, that'll help you that night, and you'll get more out of the actual presentations and shows. But B, you'll also get to know a big real estate investor in the area. He didn't know. He met Brian, who has 150 rentals and ran the club at that point. Yeah. So awesome. So we kind of hit this earlier, who attends the local real estate investing meetups, but I really want to drive this home and let you know, if you've never been to one, who you're going to meet there, because who you meet there can literally change your life. So once you go through some of the types of people that are there.
Obviously they're going to be a like-minded individual in the real estate community looking to either they're already doing it or B, looking to do it. But the first time I met Brian, one of the biggest players in the St. Louis market, St. Louis real estate market, was Brian Schroeder. And then down the line, I met contractors, I met wholesalers, I met people who cleaned houses, insurance agents, bankers,
hard money
lenders, anything that I didn't even know existed at the time. I was just scribbling notes as fast as I could, trying to pick up contact info for these folks so that way I could learn a little further. But there's everybody from the tire kicker investor up to the seasoned investor all in the same room, hanging out and commingling.
And they're people that actually are going to take action. Those Facebook groups I talked about, those are full of tire kickers. Now there's legitimate people in there for sure, but that's a group of usually 5 to 15,000. This is usually 100 to 200 people that are committed. They got out of their house, they drove, drove here. They're actually going to potentially take action or have a higher likelihood. So obviously you want to be around people that are willing to do that.
I met some of my best contractors, my preferred contractors there, my exterior contractors, interior, electric, everything. Over the last 3 years, I've picked them up slowly through the local meetup.
Yeah, because everyone wants to know where can they find deals, where can they find contractors, where they can find bankers or hard money lenders. They're all in one spot once a month, or at the different clubs, probably several times a month. But they're all in one spot at least once a month in your market, and that's a place to go. There are 2 things that every single real estate investor that's successful that I know have. Every single one. There is not one successful real estate investor I know that doesn't have these 2 qualities or say these. The first one is they wish they started earlier. Every single one, even if I started at 25, 26, that's pretty young, but man, if I started 21, I'd be doing even better. So they all wish they would started earlier. So that's the first thing, go take action and get started. The second is they understand and usually pay for the knowledge and being around other people that have been where they want to go, either through a mastermind, a coaching, a mentorship, an academy, which we have all those that we teach and coach. A lot of it for free, some of it's paid, but at a very good price. Every single person pays for that. Shoot, I pay $35,000 a year to be in a national mastermind because I understand the power, and I get 10 times that return, the power of being around other people that are where I'm at or are where I want to go.
Correct.
Every single smart investor understands that. Every single successful investor, not even just smart, every single successful investor understands the knowledge and the power to be around other people with the knowledge and tapping into that. And you can't do all this on your own. Do you agree?
Yeah, I 100% agree. The local meetup, I think it was $100 for the year, but that included 11 meetings and 11 dinners and 11 times to network and commingle and find deals and find contractors.
And meet people in between the meetups.
Yeah, in between the meetups. You might pass out business cards and kind of a forced networking part of it. And those folks will call you during the week and pick your brain, and then you can in turn pick their brain. That was fantastic. And then once I kind of got into it, I realized that my knowledge of contracting, et cetera, my background before real estate was gonna be better served to be swinging the hammer, but there was pieces of the puzzle that I was missing. So I sought out a local mastermind that was for beginners. And that's where I started. And within a few weeks, I started piling properties on faster than I knew what to do with.
Yep, so that's the power of getting around other people. Now this is kind of meetups, and these groups are kind of the entry level. They're usually very cheap or free, but at least gets you around other people, at least starts on the process towards getting to where you want to go. Now there's other things that I'm sure will be introduced as you're there that you can pay for, which, as long as it's reasonably priced, there's 100% worth of money.
Absolutely.
And to get around other people and just help them navigate through the waters, because you're gonna make mistakes no matter what.
Yep, you just want to minimize the amount of mistakes you make.
Yes, everybody makes mistakes along the way, but in order to minimize, even on your first 10 rental properties, getting around these other people and getting, either taking a course or some type of mentorship or just this, you are going to save tens of thousands of dollars on your first few properties. Literally money that you would have spent that you're not going to spend because you're going to make less mistakes.
You may think a rehab needs to go one way, and your mentor will kind of show you a little bit of tips and tricks of your own market and be able to just tune what you're doing and get higher rents, higher ARVs, higher appraisals, and then be able to do faster and longer.
For sure. This was a lot of information to take in on where to go when you're just getting started. Whether you want to get into wholesaling, rentals, fix and flips, there's all those kind of people at those local meetups. If you want to know more specifically about getting into rental properties, click on this link above, Lucas and I. It's an hour and 10-minute video that we go into every single detail about how to buy your first rental property using other people's money. We're sitting right over there in that corner. It's a super great video, so go check that out. If you're looking to take it to the next level, I put on an 80-minute webinar that's free. It's a free training. The link is below in the description and also going across the bottom of the screen right now if the editor is doing this properly. It's freerentalwebinar.com, so go there and check that out as well. Dusty, if they got any value out of this video, what should they do?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, because we go live on Wednesday evening, so you're going to want to get notified when we go live. We interact. Dusty's actually has gone live with me as well, so make sure to check that out, and you can get notified when we go live, so you can make sure to check us out and interact and ask questions. So appreciate you guys watching. Catch you on the next one. All right, let's go with it, Dustin. Ready?
Yep.
Energy. All right. Stop it. I didn't hit you that hard. All right, Dusty, 3 years ago, how many properties did you have?
0.
Since going, all right, okay, all right.
Next.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Strong work there.
All right, Dusty, 3 years ago, how many, all right, you can laugh in. Every time you laugh, I'll punch you.
Okay, bring it.
So 3 years ago, Dusty, well, don't be itching your ear during the intro. All right, ready?
Coffee cup up in your face.
You're like Cam did. Every time you answer a question, he's like,